The Enforcement Directorate has cracked down on a gaming app that is reportedly linked to Chinese nationals. Now, this gaming app was reportedly used for a 400 crore rupee fraud. How was this used? Well, it in a sense deceived or duped all users who made their accounts on this particular app. And as per the Enforcement Directorate, that money that was, in a sense, the money that was put by users in their accounts in this particular app was used or laundered perhaps to Chinese nationals. That is a major allegation, and in fact, this was also facilitated by cryptocurrency. So a lot of angles there to unpack. Joining me on the show, in fact, is Mr. Sanjay Sahai, who is a cybercrime expert and former ADGP Karnataka. Mr. Sahai, thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you.
How do you look at this entire case? I mean, these are absolutely new and perhaps many would say fascinating ways of, laundering money, perhaps unheard of. How a gaming app was used to facilitate a 400 crore rupee fraud.
So this is a very, very fascinating case and might be the first time we have a collaboration between a government agency, which is the Enforcement Directorate, yes, and a cryptocurrency exchange by name Binance. So this is what we have been propagating for long many years, that what we require currently is a collaboration between our top shot investing agencies and people who have the knowledge and the wherewithal. It is not only knowledge, I might have the knowledge, but there has to be a wherewithal by which you can spread your wings all across the crypto world and all across the cyber crime or the cyber backend, which is your dark net. So yes, how this particular offense has happened, it has happened in a very neat sort of a fashion where mini gaming apps. So this is called Fiewin. This particular app was downloaded by lots of people who wanted to make easy money. See, the name of the game in any of these particular apps or any of cyber crime or laundering or the fake investment, inclusive of digital arrest, is the lure of easy money. So sometimes it is on the side of the criminal, sometimes it is on the side of the user. And in this particular instance, it is on the side of both these guys.
That's
now
an
the
interesting
user also. Yeah, so user is interested in making a fast buck. And this whole chain. So from the user, it goes on to what we call as the recharge persons.
Yes.
From recharge person, it goes to mule accounts. From mule accounts to be a different variant of a recharge person who transfers the whole money or exchanges the whole money into cryptocurrency.
Right.
Goes to a different exchange, and from there it is circulated back to one of the safest crypto coins, that is USDT.
Yes.
Now USDT is, say, 1 unit to $1. It is also known as a stable coin. It is known as Tether. So to cut the long story short, there are three things to this whole exercise. One is attractive promise. Second is, once you start using that particular app and you start earning, then you start investing more. Then yes, what happens? Then is money trapping. Then the money is trapped.
Yes.
After the money is trapped, on the neatly laid down chain, your money laundering starts to happen. Now, 4 guys have already been arrested.
Yes.
Okay. So out of the 4 guys, I think 3 are very clear cut. They are the recharge characters or who are basically transferring Indian currency into crypto. The last one is most dangerous and most nefarious, who brings the Chinese national on board onto an Indian company by name Studio 21.
Yes. So he was almost sort of a mediator. But Mr. Sahai, it's absolutely fascinating how this was carried out. And as you said, it was carried out so neatly without any sort of visible loopholes or flaws in it. So how do we beware of this sort of a mechanism? Because of course it's very, very easily deceivable.
So anything which delivers you easy money on the internet, we need to avoid. That is point number 1. Point number 2, we need a regulatory mechanism, which what in IT parlance, we call as the whitelisting.
Right.
So there will be a whitelisting of apps, there will be whitelisting of softwares. That has to be done by the government, which precisely means that anything which is not whitelisted You are playing the whole game at your own risk. Thirdly, mule accounts. Now, the Indian banking industry has not reacted or responded to this till this particular time. But unfortunately, if it continues in this manner, I think mule accounts become the biggest danger to both our economy, money flow, and might be national security in the longer run.
That's very well put, actually, Mr. Sahai, that anything that sort of appears to be an easy source of money online, that is something that we need to sort of be circumspect about. I'm afraid I'm running out of time on this, but Mr. Sahai, always a pleasure to have you on the show, and thanks very much for breaking it down for us. An absolutely fascinating case of cyber crime there, and the coming together of a cryptocurrency platform and a central agency to bust that 400 crore rupee fraud.